Don't touch anything, janitor. People like you always mess things up. Marcus swallowed the sting as the racist CEO strutted past, hurling the insult like a habit. No one in that courthouse knew the truth. Marcus carried 3,000 case files in his mind, faces, dates, lies, and secrets etched into memory. And one mistake today would drag the CEO into a disaster he couldn't escape. A chair scraped sharply as the trial began. The courtroom in downtown Atlanta held its breath the moment the judge snapped, "Keep moving, boy. This place isn't for people like you." The black janitor pushing a cleaning cart paused, eyes lowering for just a second. His name was Marcus, 42, quiet, steady, and invisible to everyone except the kid sitting at the defendant's table, a 14-year-old black boy trembling beneath fluorescent lights. At the far end of the room, a well-dressed CEO smirked, arms crossed like he owned the building. And in a way, he did. He owned the car the boy was accused of stealing. No one knew Marcus had walked these halls 15 years and memorized nearly 3,000 case files burned into his mind. A faint clatter of the judge's gavel pulled the room into the next moment. The prosecution wasted no time, painting the boy as reckless, untrustworthy, exactly the type who takes what isn't his. The CEO nodded along, confident, polished, and cold. Marcus lingered near the exit, torn between orders and conscience. The boy looked up at him suddenly, whispering, "Uncle Marcus, you remember me, right?" The question hit harder than the judge's insults. 7 years ago, Marcus had cleaned this same courtroom during a civil suit involving the same CEO. He remembered every detail, names, timestamps, documents, the CEO's exact words. "People like you should use the back door." That tiny sentence still stung, a quiet wound that never fully closed. The rising tension made the air feel heavy. The public defender fumbled with a frozen computer. The digital evidence system had crashed. The judge scoffed. "Figures, your people never come prepared." The entire room shifted against the boy, and even against Marcus, who felt smaller under dozens of dismissive eyes. A woman in the gallery whispered, "Why is that janitor still here?" Another chuckled. The humiliation pressed in from all sides, tight, suffocating, unavoidable. Marcus stepped back, gripping the railing. What would anyone do if they were witnessing a child sinking under the weight of lies? He inhaled sharply, steadying himself. "What would you do if this happened to you?" he wondered silently. The CEO stood to testify, and his confidence began to crack when the judge announced that without digital access, the court would rely on witness accounts. The CEO stiffened. Marcus recognized that look. He'd seen it before. Fear of being confronted with the truth he'd buried. The judge prepared to dismiss the case, ready to brand the boy guilty and move on. The gavel lifted when Marcus finally stepped forward. "Your Honor, I know this boy, and I know this case, all of it." The courtroom froze. The judge's face reddened. "You? A janitor? Sit down or get out." The CEO raised a hand in agreement. He shouldn't be involved. But Marcus did not move. He began speaking with unsettling precision. Dates, addresses, the exact model and plate number of the CEO's luxury sedan, the maintenance records, even the incident 7 years ago when the CEO's adopted son had been caught in a nearly identical situation. "You weren't in the courtroom when that happened," the judge snapped. "I was. I was cleaning the floor right next to your bench." He described the son's prior disciplinary file word for word, the hidden detail the boy being blamed today couldn't possibly have known. Gasps rippled as Marcus produced the final piece, a torn mask fragment he'd found in the garage the morning of the alleged theft, matching the style the CEO's son always wore. For a fleeting second, everyone saw it, the possibility that the janitor knew more than all of them combined. The judge's voice trembled. How do you know all this?" Marcus answered quietly, 15 years, 3,000 cases. I remember everything people try to forget." By the time the truth settled, the gallery erupted. The real culprit, the CEO's son, was escorted out in handcuffs. The boy on trial burst into tears of relief. The judge, pale and shaken, announced an immediate inquiry into his own conduct after being accused of racial bias, and the CEO, once untouchable, stood speechless before the man he had humiliated more than once. He approached Marcus slowly. You saved me. My company, my career, everything. Marcus met his eyes, calm and unwavering. Everyone deserves the truth. Even those who forget others are human. The CEO lowered his head, the room stunned into silence. Weeks later, the court created a new role, community liaison and case memory advisor, and offered it to Marcus. As he walked through the hallway, someone whispered, "How did a janitor know all that?" Marcus didn't answer. He didn't need to. Sometimes, the man everyone overlooks is the one carrying the whole memory of justice on his shoulders.